The voice in the walls. Lena had always been fascinated by old houses. When she stumbled across the abandoned cottage tucked deep in the woods, she knew she had to have it. It was small, overgrown with ivy, and almost hidden from view, as if it had been waiting for her. The realtor had given her a strange look when she agreed to buy it on the spot, but she didn't care. The place was cheap, and it felt right. She would fix it up, make it hers. The first night in the cottage, she could hear the wind howling outside, the trees bending and creaking under its force. But inside, the house was quiet, too quiet. The floorboards groaned beneath her feet as she unpacked, setting down boxes of books and old furniture she'd collected over the years. The air smelled of dust and mildew, but there was something else too, something faintly sweet, like old flowers. As she settled into her new home, Lena noticed something strange. At night, when the wind died down, she would hear a soft whispering. At first, she thought it was just the house settling, an old structure after all, creaks and groans. But the whispers didn't stop. They grew louder, more distinct. "Help me." Lena froze one night, her hands still on the door handle, as the whispers seemed to come from the walls themselves. The voice was faint, but it was there, and it was unmistakable. Someone, or something, was calling her. At first, Lena tried to ignore it. Maybe it was the wind, or the house itself. Maybe it had old pipes that whistled, or the walls had absorbed the sounds of the past. But the whispers didn't stop. Every night, they grew more insistent, more desperate. "Please, help me." Her curiosity eventually got the best of her. One afternoon, she decided to investigate. The sound seemed to come from the wall between the living room and the kitchen. She ran her fingers along the wallpaper, feeling the coldness of the old plaster beneath. There was nothing unusual about the surface, no cracks, no holes, just the faded floral pattern from decades ago. But as she pressed her ear against the wall, the whispers grew louder, clearer. "Let me out." Lena jumped back, her heart racing. There was something in there, something trapped. Unable to resist, she grabbed a hammer and chisel from her toolbox and began to pry away at the wall. The old plaster came away easily, revealing a narrow gap between the studs. As she peeled the wall back further, her breath caught in her throat. Behind the wall was a small, dusty crawl space. The air inside smelled of decay, like something had been sealed away for far too long. And in the corner, barely visible in the dim light, was something that made her stomach turn. An old, rusted metal door, half hidden behind a layer of rotting wood. Its chest rising and falling in a pattern that didn't seem quite right. once more. Lena stood there, panting, her heart pounding. She looked around the room, disoriented, wondering if it had all been a nightmare. But when she turned back to the crawl space, she saw something new. On the wall, just above the metal door, was a fresh, deep scratch. It was in the shape of a handprint. 5 long, jagged lines, as if someone, or something, had tried to claw its way out. And beneath it, written in something dark and smeared, were 2 words. "It's your turn." Lena didn't wait to see what would happen next. She ran out of the cottage, never looking back. The house still stands in the woods, waiting for the next curious soul to wander too close to hear the whispers and feel the cold fingers grasping at their soul. And every night, when the wind howls, if you listen closely, you can still hear the voice in the walls, calling for help. "Let me out."